Hello survivors, I'm the Survivalist, and welcome to the next little mini-series we're going to be doing on the channel, Soulstone Survivors. So this is a game that I tried out the little prologue for, really enjoyed it, and I figured because I want to play more and it would fit as a nice little mini-series to introduce the genre a little bit, we'll tackle next on the channel. So, like its namesake, Soulstone Survivors, this is a Vampire Survivors alike. And the reason I call it that is because the genre right now, it's mostly known for Vampire Survivors, and even trying to narrow down, like, using more typically known genres can be a bit of a mouthful. I'd basically kind of consider this an autocaster, horde survival, roguelite. Although, truth be told, there's actually, you could even squeeze bullet hell into there as well, but it's a bit of a genre that's mostly been broken out by Vampire Survivors and the popularity there, but there are some other ones that have seen the concepts in that, really like it, and putting their own spins to it. And this is one that I tried out, really enjoyed, and I figure we'll go for it a little bit together. So, we'll just start game, and once it starts playing out, you'll kind of get the feel of it much, much more. Now I'm just going to close those up. Okay, so you have a lot of options for like how you want to play. You do start with only a basic character, but as you can see, there's quite a nice variety to them. Various weapons that will actually dictate like what skills you start out with. You actually can craft them to eventually try some other stuff out. Yeah, you can see there's a fair variety to all kinds of stuff to eventually unlock and try. The blacksmith is where you'll just make up the different weapons that give you, I believe, at least one different starting ability or what gets cast. Huge bunch of options here for like what you want to unlock or try out. Depending on how far you get with certain characters, you can unlock things. Big branching skill tree. So there's a lot here. But once we get into it, it actually goes incredibly pretty simplistic and can be a lot of fun. So we'll start with Barbarian here. 20 max health, or plus 20 max health, 50% crit damage chance, 25% cast frequency, and 10% movement speed modifier. And as much as those might seem important, they kind of become completely passive and you'll ignore them as things get going. So it basically is, if you don't know what Vampire Survivors is, basically think of it like an arena horde mode in a way. You'll have enemies constantly coming at you. The abilities cast all on their own, so you don't have to worry about like inputs for that, at least for the most part. There might be certain games, another one that I played called 20 Minutes Till Dawn, you actually control like shooting and using your weapon, but there are certain ones where everything is like auto-casted for you, so all you have to worry about is managing your position and movement and such. But you basically just let the game kind of play out for itself in some regards, and then you'll have little input choices like these on leveling up. So you get 3 various things to pick from, and you kind of go with what appeals the most to you. Powerful Strikes increases your damage modifier by an additional 5%, so basically I believe that's just you get 5% more damage. Fire Shield, you can get a few orbs around you that'll help, or Fateful Strikes, which have a chance to apply Doom, which causes 40 damage after 5 seconds, increased new applications, duration refreshed, and accumulates more damage than target's health, instantly execute the target. So we're going to go for that just as something that'll build up and kind of a stack on its own if it does. And the reason why, something about these games, and I can see why they are so popular, well, why Vampire Survivors was so popular. It's kind of a case where it gives the player enough agency that they feel they are... I'm trying to think of how I want to talk about it, because, like, it feels like you have the agency of... You don't have to be fully focused on what's going on, aside from just, like, minding so much. You don't have to micromanage everything, might be one of the ways to put it. You just have to worry about where you're positioning and moving your character to, while all the abilities and all the fancy effects and everything are kind of happening on their own. So it's not you have to be super hardcore focused on everything, and you can instead kind of have a little bit of knowing, okay, I just gotta do... You don't have to control everything would probably be it. You can see all the effects, all the big splashy visual things going off, and see all the numbers rising, but you don't have to feel like you're getting overwhelmed with too much being added on. That all handles itself, and you gotta play more freely. So we've got a new active skill. You can see our slots hold down here along with our health, and a dash just to get out of stuff if we need. On the left are just some currencies we're earning. I think that's hero experience, or to the one equipped, and that's like soulstones there, or minor soulstones, are your currency for picking new stuff up. So Thunderstrike calls down strike to random enemy, dealing 1300 and pushing them back to inflict daze and stun. Body Slam, which deals 500 and multiplied by 1.4 on current max health. Or Shockwave Totem that summons one to the ground and continuously fires shockwaves out, dealing 200 and applying hemorrhage. I might go... you know what? Let's go for the Shockwave Totem. We are kind of like a Barbarian-esque. Maybe that'll feel a bit fitting. But yeah, as you can see, you can kind of choose and have a little bit of strategy of where you position yourself with stuff. Just let the game kind of play out to its own thing, but you still do have the agency to know that you can't just stand still and not input at all. You do have to have a bit of control into matters. And we leveled up again, so we can pick up Frailty, which is increases all damage received by 3% for 6 seconds for that. Agile, just give ourselves 10% movement speed, or give us slow to enemies that get hit by stuff. I'm going to go for the movement speed, just to get us a little faster, because we do have a little bit of the bullet hell elements coming in, where you can see some of the stuff being thrown our way. And this is also just like the first touch oh, and some extra effects happening too. Like, that's one of the things I like a lot about Soulstone Survivors, is instead of just having to worry about like things getting into melee and hitting you once, you actually have to mind almost like mechanics going on of these big areas of denial you'll have to get out, or mind where you're positioning to or what's coming in. Okay, so what do we have? We could get another Fateful Strikes, which gives us more chances to put Doom out. We get Leviathan, that increases damage modifier by 10, but takes off movement speed. Or we can get the Exposed Weakness, which critical strikes have a chance of applying Wound. Anytime you apply effects while Wound is active, 50% then will be doubled. I might go for this one. It is rated as an epic power, so we'll get that to help us along just as we're going about and see how we do. And we got another chance here. So there's Explosive Trap. Place permanent trap in the ground, explodes when enemy steps on it, causing 400 damage and applying burn to enemies in a large area. Flurry. Quickly throw daggers in the direction you're aiming at, so that's why you've seen that reticle on screen. Some abilities you actually do have a bit of input to targeting, or like going direction your reticle is. Hitting enemies total 20 times, dealing 40 damage, applying bleed with every hit. That one might not be bad. Or Lightning Bolt. Fire 3 projectiles at random enemy, piercing through in a line, each causing 700 damage, inflicting dazed. I'm debating between Lightning Bolt and Flurry. Explosive Trap is an interesting one, but I feel like that one, I have to really stay around the traps, and with how some of these area of denials are happening, or like the harmful areas, I won't be able to stay in one place too often. So I think I'll try Flurry. We'll see how it is. Okay, yeah, that is quite a volley you do. You know what? I think I'm glad I picked that one. That's kind of a fun one to see it going off just as it is. Oh, and we got a new type of enemy coming in. But nothing too bad to deal with. And we have choice of 3 more options. Every time you level up, you I think it flip-flops between you'll get passives you can pick for a few levels, and then you'll also get an active ability you can pick for a level. So Resilient, increase armor power by 8, damage increase to our Shockwave Totem, or Behemoth to get 15 more max health. I think I'm going to go for the damage increase on the totem. We haven't gotten hit yet by anything, so it's more so just making sure we can kind of keep clearing through what comes at us. And just go around, keep collecting what we can. All the little yellow crystals are basically your experience you're collecting and building up with. And nothing too interesting here. Increase crit damage by additional 12%, increase max health by 15, or the 10% increase for 5% movement speed off. I'm going to go for Merciless here. Just get that so that way we're doing a little bit more crit damage. Oh, and we got a lot of stuff possibly coming in there. As you can see, it starts ramping up more and more. Oh, that yellow crystal we just killed, I believe, is a health crystal. So you do have ways of getting health back in the fight. It's not like you won't be able to heal at all. And let's see. Okay, Shadow Spikes. Summoned from the ground, straight line towards the red enemy, causing damage and applying Doom. We got Subdue, powerful striking direction aiming, deal 50 damage, an extra 10 damage per stack of bleed or hemorrhage. That might work well with the flurry we've got. Or Thunder Strike, that calls down Thunder Strike, a random enemy dealing 1300. These two both go pretty well with them. I'm kind of thinking maybe I'll do Subdue because we do have Flurry, and Flurry sends out a lot of bleed. So we'll see how those two kind of work together. Oh, and talking about like having to mind Area of Denial in that, we've actually got our first kind of boss for this map. So this is Keithaze the Prophetess. Oh, and we've got a choice. I'm going to go for more movement speed. Now that we started to see like how big of area effects are happening, I'd like to be a little bit faster in getting out of stuff if possible. Oh, and that's them taken down. And that crystal basically acts like a hoover or a vacuum. It sucks all of the experience crystals currently on the map up to you to let you go through. And you can see we gained 3 levels from that. So increase block power by 4, increase multicast chance by initial 8%, which basically means when these abilities cast on their own, there's actually a chance they'll cast twice. Or lethality, increase critical damage chance by 5. I'll go for the multicast. And then we've got a choice of an active here. Suction Bomb, throw a bomb in front of you, pulling enemies in a large area towards its position. Not really that much damage when you consider the other two for like 1300 and 700. I might go for Lightning Bolt, get a little bit more range going. It doesn't do as much as Thunder Strike, but again, with Thunder Strike being a random enemy, I could see it happening where it only hits one that's not really concentrated with a bunch around it. So we'll go for that. Oh, we actually got a legendary power here. Increase the multicast chance of the skill Shockwave Dome by an additional 60%. We're going to go for that. Whenever you get a legendary ability, usually that's the one you want to go for. And let's see, we've got rare, uncommon, common. We've seen our armor power by 8. This one is 20% more damage, but 10% slower. Or just increase damage modifier by flat out 15, which we're going to go for. And actually, nice choice of music for this style of game, too. You just kind of bop along with it as you're literally decimating waves and waves of enemies. Like you can see, okay, well, my face might be in the top right, or maybe I'll try to have it in the top left because of things. But you can see in the top right, there's like eliminate Lords of the Void and eliminate monsters. So every so many things you've killed, you'll get one of those like bosses to spawn in, and you have to take that down. And then you have to take 5 of those down per map to basically beat it. So we got Bloodlust, increases you and all nearby allies, increasing movement speed by additional 20 and cast frequency by 40. So basically just use our stuff faster. There's Quick Strike, perform Quick Strike in front of you, dealing that. Increases with your movement speed, or summon a Chaos Golem. I think I'm going to go for Bloodlust. See about getting the casts out a little bit faster. And just see how that is. I do have to mind that, yeah, they're coming in from all sides, and we're starting to see them a little bit more frequently, although it's not really affecting too much with how we're doing. I haven't taken damage yet, but I admit the rare power compared to the 2 common is really appealing to me. So I'm going to go for the increased armor power by 24. That should help us out just in case we do run into anything that does start getting in too close and does do damage to us, or punches through. Although, yeah, we are definitely clearing up pretty good. So, increase block power by 4, armor by 8, or increase cast frequency of Bloodlust by 20, which we're going to go for. I've kind of found that as long as you can keep offensive stuff pretty high or building that up, ooh, that's our new boss there, Tyagro the Eternal Guardian. And once you do have your slots full of, like, active abilities, you can actually choose to replace some of them. You can choose to swap one out with the new one you might see. But truth be told, I think I actually want to go for just a passive, because right now, everything we've got synergizes fairly well with what we are using. And we might go for the Whirlwind increase here. We've seen Doom before, we have that. We do only have 1 level, but I feel like it'd be nice to get 30% more damage to our basic Whirlwind ability. But yeah, so Tyagro the Eternal... Oh, okay, he's got a laser, so we gotta mind what he's doing, because we don't want to get in front of that. Increase armor power by 16. 30% increase for this cast speed of Bloodlust, so we're going to go for that. and another crystal. And we have 4 points we can actually choose from here. Again, defensives, we haven't really hit anything that's needed them yet, so I'll probably go for frailty. I'm going to just keep what we have right now. Ooh, this is a tough one. Increase crit damage modifier by 24%. It's basically do 25% more crit damage. Increase damage of flurry by 30%, or increase cast frequency of that. I think I'm going to go for the flurry, because that one has just been very helpful. And, to be honest, I think I'm going to go for Doom here. We could do cast... Or should I go for faster cast frequency? Now, I'll go for Doom. We only have the one of those, so we can get that up. And I think I'll go for the 30% speed over anything else. Again, if you can focus and build a lot of your offensive stuff up, it kind of feels like you don't really need to worry too hard about your defensive things. Although, I did take a little bit of health loss there because of area of effect that was happening. So I might be speaking a little too early for things. My only problem with attacks like Bomb Barrage or Quick Strike is that they happen in front of you. So I think you have to be, like... I mean, granted, I'm using Flurry, but at least Flurry has more range than those do. So I'm going to keep with what I've got. And you know what? Let's go for another Doom. See if I can actually get 5 stacks of that, because that should mean every single attack will be applying Doom out against our enemies. And that might help clear through them a little bit better. I should also go explore the map a little bit. I think all of them are kind of like this circular arena type of thing, but there are little resource nodes or ore samples that you can pick up that'll be used for like crafting new stuff if you can find them. It might just take a little bit of running around and trying to find them on the map to make use of them. Oh, you're a bit of a big... Oh, actually, you're a couple big ones. But yeah, that's why I like the movement speed and picking that up, because enemies do start moving quicker, and it's much easier getting out just by walking than having to use up the little dash ability we've got. And now we've got an interesting choice of all rare effects. So we can increase the damage of Lightning Bolt by 45%, we can increase our experience modifier by 20%, and increase our pickup range of stuff by 150. Or we can go for the area effect, which basically everything like in a circle around you goes for larger areas. And you do get little hints of what things will be affected by certain abilities. But I'm going to go for magnetic, because that means we'll get more experience dropping and be able to pick it up more easily too. And as you can see by all the area we've kind of gone through, there's a fair bit of experience just laying around that we could look at helping ourselves to and speeding things up. We'll skip the block power, we'll skip the health. We'll go for the area effect so whirlwind hits for a larger area around us. Oh. Okay, so. Again, I think I'm pretty good with the powers I picked. Ooh, you know what? Maybe I'll go for Flurry here, just to increase that. Because it is pretty good at shredding through the enemies, and then it does apply the, the bleed effect, too. Well, now you can see, as we're moving about, a lot more things are starting to cast a lot of stuff around us. So this is where the additional 30% movement speed is going to be very handy. Just to keep us out of all the nasty damage areas on the ground. Okay, we're doing pretty good with the movement. We could look at getting another debuff applied, but I think I'll go for the damage increase for the totem. Just that way we keep our abilities going up. And now, that was the crystal we picked up from taking down the boss. I am kind of leaning towards Fateful Strikes, but we have been... Yeah, you can also see the level your abilities are too, and we've been letting Lightning Bolt fall a bit short for a while, so I think we'll go for that one. I'll take more movement speed because we are definitely going through stuff, and we'll go for the Bloodlust boost. Yeah, so this will hopefully keep us a little safer, and I can go much quicker throughout the map and try avoiding stuff. Probably skip those. And you know what, let's go for more Lightning Bolt. We have been leaving it to kind of sit in the back burner for a while. So yeah, we'll just keep letting this play out and see. One of the things I do like about this genre is, say you only have like an hour to play a game, this is one of those games where you can just hop in and get like a couple of maps done. It gets you into the action pretty quick, and it just escalates so quickly, you can feel a lot of it like taken care of there. And actually, we'll probably go for multicast here, an additional 20% chance for our abilities. And that is a legendary power, so it's far... Oh, gotta be careful, because some things are starting to knock me around a little bit. Yeah, I'm actually getting so speedy, the Horde's not really keeping up with us as well. Oh, and there's a little bit of a health crystal. Yes, to top us back up from a bit of damage I did take. And we're getting close to summoning the 4th boss of the map. Oh. Okay, so, Leviathan we've seen, multicast, we picked that up last time. This is a new one, damage increase, which is an epic power. Increase the damage modifier of all your skills of type lasting by an additional 40%. Skill does not cause damage, potency effect will be increased instead. So, it will affect those two, whereas this will affect everything. So I'm going to go for another multicast. Yeah, it just gets... Oh, and speaking of the next boss, there it is. As you can see, it just starts ramping up and escalates to a point of ridiculousness. To a point it's kind of hard to see what can be going on at times. Yeah, I'm going to go for the damage increase just because... Oh, crud. I got smacked into something there. I'm going to go for the damage increase just... Oh, look at all that. Oh, and out of these... I'll probably go for magnetic just to make it easier to keep picking up all the experience that we keep generating from taking down so many things. Oh, okay, so 2 commons. We could get Doom up another one. Maximum active units and quantity of units summoned by Shockwave are increased by 1. I'm going to take that. So that way we have more Shockwave totems out, and they're doing more stuff more frequently. But yeah, you can see it just ramps up to a point of such chaos that it's hard to tell what can be going on sometimes. But I like it where, again, you can do it in such a condensed little time frame that it's really fun. Oh. Vicious Strikes might be pretty good. 100% chance to deal critical strike on enemies with full health. Or increased damage modifier of crit, or 36% more critical damage. I'll go for Vicious Strikes because basically that means first thing we're hitting... Yeah, it might be a mixed result depending on like what abilities activate when they do. But oh, shoot, I gotta be really careful, because there are certain enemies that I'm starting to smack into. They're almost like little bomb guys, and they do throw me around a bit. I just want to do a little bit of a look around, see if I can find... Oh, there's another little resource node. We'll get that. Actually, I should check. I wonder if there might be like a little skill upgrade, just like you can buy for all characters, that'll let you see where the resource nodes are better. Increase critical damage by 24%, increase damage of Shockwave totem by 30%, and every time you apply Stack Doom, 50% of doing Dazed as well. I think I'll go to keep improving the totems. They're pretty handy to have, like, they're doing the shockwaves out without having to input my direction like Flurry. Oh, and we got health from that crystal that had spawned. It just gets ridiculous sometimes. Oh, my bad. And we need a little over 100 more enemies taken care of, and then we'll have the last boss summoned. Now, there's a lot of nice little resource nodes around. One of the things that I was tempted to playing the prologue was just staying in the middle. Oh, there's one of the bomb guys I mentioned before. But as I was about to say, one of the things I did when I was playing the prologue more was I only stuck around the very middle area, because I didn't realize there's actually excess on the outsides to go for. We'll go for Expansive. Just that way, things like our Whirlwind and that do cover a larger area. Oh, and Gammoth, the incarnation of fire. Oh, okay, I gotta be careful, because he's a lot of targeted stuff, and that was covering a fair area. But We'll just kind of circle around. Oh, shoot, 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 shoot. Right, he's doing the laser. Oh. There we go. And a lot of stuff just came through here. Okay, well, there's not really a point worrying about this stuff now, so I'll probably just go for, like, the rare powers. And that was the first map completed. Escape the void or... Oh! I didn't realize we could actually keep going here. Huh. Okay, that's interesting. I think that's an escape one, so we take everything we've got and we're done. I'm going to do that. Just that way we can start a new map and kind of just show off more as how we've been going. But yeah, that entire chaotic thing, 10 minutes, 18 seconds. It was a little bit longer because I had stopped at the beginning to chat with you guys as well as go through some of the powers. But you can see, you can get a lot done and just have a bunch of fun for not even 12 minutes of time. So we'll go back to menu with what we've got. And I'll just take a little bit of a peek at some of the things we could look at getting. Because with that completed, we've got, 8,000 minor soul stones. So we could look at picking up, well, one more character for now. We will have to look at trying to unlock some of these others. Once you get so much of a level with a character, you'll unlock being able to make different weapons, which give you a different starting ability. Skill tree is where we want to start. We need 50,000 to be able to unlock any of the rune stuff, but we can look at starting here with getting a few things like additional move speed, increased damage modifier, and even a little bit more health. Now, what I think I'd probably want to look at going into is maybe this to start. Increased amount of minor soul stones earned by percentages. Because that'll basically mean I'm able to get more money more easily as we keep playing. And I'll see about picking that up. Okay, and I could put one more purchase into one of these first three. Let's do a little more damage. Just that way it's easier when we start out killing some stuff. But yeah, my thinking is we'll try to get this maxed first. That way I get more soul stones that we use for the currency in this tree and other spots. And hopefully that'll let us go through and get some more options quicker. But thank you all very much for joining me on this episode of Soulstone Survivors. If you did enjoy the video, you should give it a like. And if you have any comments, tips, or tricks, be sure to leave comments right down below. Until I do catch you in the next video or episode, Survivors, please remember, as always, to take care and stay alive.